It's all the Real Madrid news that came out today, and I'm starting out with what came out earlier today. Florentino Perez talking about the Negreira case once again. Florentino and Laporta's relationship is indeed over. He said, who will believe that millions of euros were paid for technical reports that apparently were supposed to be useless because they weren't even provided to the coaches, who apparently didn't even know of their existence. And today we continue to live with the aftermath of a case that stains the image of our sport. It highlights the need for a radical change in the structures of refereeing. Now he also talked about the refereeing yesterday. In the last two games there have been a penalty for both Vinny and Rodrigo. It's the novelty lately. And also Jude Bellingham showing support to Rodrigo via IG. The cream always rises to the top. I don't know what that means, let me know in the comments. But anyways, Brahim Diaz has left Madrid for AFCON. Now remember, if Morocco reached the final, he will miss at least 5 Real Madrid matches. And if they reach the quarterfinals, he will miss the Supercopa de España. Now anyways, he said thank you to all Madristas for this 2025. See you next year full of excitement. Now also know that Real Madrid will hold the annual open training session at the Di Stefano Stadium on December 30th. Now also Real Madrid's new Lunar New Year collection came out, inspired by the Lunar New Year and the traditional decorated knots of Chinese culture. Now with all that being said, if you're enjoying the video so far, just like the video so I know. And if you want to stay updated with Real Madrid news, just follow. Also, Rodrigo has officially joined Adidas. Marcelo and Jude Bellingham have both congratulated him. Now anyways, on Wednesday we have a Copa del Rey game. And well, today there was no training session. The players had a day off. And well, for Wednesday's game, it's being said the plan now is Lunin will start against Talavera. Andre Carreras and Fran Garcia will be available for the game. They will still be suspended for the game against Sevilla because the ban is only for league games. And also Cestero, Thiago, Fran Gonzalez, David Jimenez, Joan Martinez, and Valdepeñas will all be called up for the Copa del Rey game. Supposedly, according to Marca, David Jimenez is set to start at right back. Now anyways, about yesterday's game against Alaves. Real Madrid were not happy with the refereeing after the game last night. The club intentionally did not send any player to answer questions from journalists to avoid saying statements about the refereeing. And it's being said that the Spanish referee committee are closer to the view that the VAR should not have intervened in the possible penalty to Vinny Jr. last night. Let me know what you guys think. And it's being said that the win against Alaves last night has cooled down the situation with Xabi Alonso's future. However, there are still doubts at various levels surrounding the project, including at the board level. Now, Metro Ruiz Cope also said, I have been reading that the players are not supporting Xabi Alonso and want to get rid of him. The truth is that things are the opposite. The players are saying they support him and want him to stay. And Fabrizio Romano said Real Madrid wants Xabi Alonso to confirm that things have changed by winning the next games in the Copa del Rey and La Liga. His big test will be the Super Cup in January. And in case Xabi Alonso is sacked, the name being mentioned is Arbeloa. He could be the favorite according to Fabrizio. Now other sources like Jose Felix Diaz are saying Solari is the name together with a coaching staff made in Valdebebas. But who knows if this is true. Now it's also being said that the Real Madrid management have realized that the team is suffering from severe physical weakness and will not regain the physical fitness overnight. They do not want just positive results, but they want to see the enthusiasm that was in the team the moment Xabi Alonso took over. Now anyways, you had Mbappe talking to Valdepeñas before his debut. Be calm, focus, communicate. You are good, you'll play good, be calm, vamos. Alaves fans were chanting at Jude. Jude F off, Jude F off. Jude Bellingham was staring at them and smiling. Rudiger was telling Vinny, Vinny, you have a card, don't complain. Vinny was saying calm down, calm down. Now also Raul Asensio has replied to the Alaves fans who were booing him at Vitoria. And well, he replied to this right here. He said, great game, plus 3 points. Now also Valdepeñas said this about his debut. He said, I was nervous, I won't lie, but my teammates and captains calmed me down and I thanked them. And on IG, he said, ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of this moment. Yesterday, that dream came true, debuting in La Liga with Real Madrid. And then he continued by thanking his family and friends and his coaches and everyone for the trust, opportunities, and support. And he said, now I am looking forward to getting better and enjoying moments like this. And he also said, I'm going to frame this shirt and look at it every day. It's a Valdepeñas shirt that got signed by all the players. Now anyways, it's being said by Miguelito Cope that Camavinga is expected to return for Sevilla. Now also, Van Basten said this about the penalty on Vinny. It wasn't a penalty for Vinny. Yes, he got hit, but he loved the fact that he got hit so he could dive to the ground. It's not like that hit genuinely brought him to the ground. He just made use of it. In La Liga, Pichichi raced so far this season. Mbappe with 17, Ferran Torres with 11. And Fernando Caro, Bayer Leverkusen CEO, he talked about Xabi Alonso's situation at Real Madrid. If the president says that a coach is a necessary evil, if the coach is left alone, and is always the one who receives the criticism, then the situation is very different from the one he experienced at Leverkusen. We all rode in the same direction and did not leave the coach alone politically. Mbappe 48 has created the most chances in Europe's top 5 leagues this season. And lastly, most assists in La Liga in the last 5 seasons. Vinny Jr. with 37. Now with all that being said, let me know what you guys thought about the news.